and Caribbean knowledge bases in fostering the health of what was essentially a subsistence economy. To illustrate the collective memory of these periods of bioinsecurity and present an example more deserving of historical attention, I quote from a plaque in Le Carré, or Town Square, outside the Iberia Parish Library that pays homage to Félicité. A black woman, native of Haiti. During the yellow fever epidemic here in 1839, she nursed the sick, administered to the dying, closed the eyes of the dead, and wept over their graves. Loved and honored by townspeople for the remainder of her life, she died in January 1852. The day of her burial, every business in New Iberia closed its doors, and every man, woman, and child in town followed her to her last resting place in St. Peter's Cemetery. She was an angel of mercy in a time of pestilence. Her name shall not be allowed to drop into oblivion. It's not your typical antebellum Southern narrative. The plaque gives an idea of the social nature of the area and its historical ties to the Caribbean. The largest city in Biotech, New Iberia, founded by the Spanish in 1779, was slower than most parts of Louisiana to adopt Anglo-American racial discourses, categories, and exclusionary practices. From the Anglo-redefined racial history of southwestern Louisiana, my maternal family emerged. Generations of the enslaved, sugarcane farmers, sharecroppers, and plantation owners. Sugar production formed an organizational axis around kinship, labor, consumption, language, and religion as part of an ongoing contested engagement with labor, history, and the material. But Félicité's memorial makes no facile claim to tolerant cultural self-congratulation. The brief story of Félicité and the honor accorded her during a period of brutal chattel slavery betrays her relative historical anonymity, one that exposes the sacrificial labor of blackness in supporting the flourishing of white life. The narrative exemplifies an unfulfilled epistemic void and ontological yearning enabled by erasures of black ancestries from the archives. Saidiya Hartman's notion of mother loss diagnoses the historical amnesia concerning Félicité. We do not know Félicité's last name. We do not know whether she had siblings or children, or even descendants still living in the area. She came and went, an angel of mercy in a time of pestilence, before returning to heaven. On a panel erected beside the bayou, her story is told from beginning to end, encapsulated in a single paragraph and sealed hermetically against genealogical coherence, face à face. The recurring grafting of the white settler colonist onto the bare rootstock of semi-anonymous black labor in producing better fruits for all, or for our purposes, sweetness, furnishes a visual template I suggest the listener may find generative throughout this book. Sugar, slavery, and diabetes. As a child born and raised in New York, I experienced this often disconcerting familial past during our family trips down to the land of sugar. We traveled by car to New Iberia, where we stayed with my Auntie, Francine, a very large woman with two very large daughters, my favorite cousins, Aurélie and Marceline. One hot day, I opened the refrigerator and was confronted by an ominous-looking pitcher of cloudy liquid, the refrigerator light refracted by its opaqueness. I asked my mother, "What is this?" "It's sugar water," she replied. Perplexed, I asked her if someone forgot to finish making the lemonade. "No," she said in a hushed tone. "People here drink that for energy." My tender age of 6 notwithstanding, surrounded by sugarcane fields, only one word came to mind.